we've got Venus moving into Gemini, our full moon in Sidereal Sagittarius. We've got Saturn retrograde moving back into Capricorn. And we've got some other things going on in our sky this week. Hey, my friend, this is your Western Sidereal Astrology energy forecast for the week of July 11th through the 17th. If you are new here, hey, my friend, Danny Simonis, your spiritual designer, helping you find clarity on your spiritual journey. One of my favorite things to do is to help people understand, remember who they are, why they came here, so that we can release the generational paradigms, the societal paradigms, the ancestral paradigms that are stopping you from being who you are truly meant to be, so that you can then design a life that truly honors who you are. And we do this all through the lens of astrology. My friend, I'm super excited to be with you today because we've got some things happening in our sky that just may be affecting you. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to dive right in to what is going on in our sky. All right, so as you can see, we have our transit chart. Wow, brain not functioning quite yet this morning. We have our sidereal chart here. And so if you're like, sidereal, Danny, what are you talking about? If you're new here, if you're like, I'm not sure what that is. So there's different systems in astrology that we can use. Here in the United States, we generally most commonly use the tropical system, which is based on fixed dates, right? It's seasonal. It's between this date and this date. You were born, right? Then you're this sign. In sidereal, we look at what's actually happening. And there's other systems that are even more precise that look exactly what is happening in the sky at this current moment. So if we were to take a horoscope, did I just say horoscope? If we were to take a telescope, put it up into the sky, we would see that our sun is currently transiting the part of the sky that is in Gemini. Now, it's getting close to Cancer. And so by the end of the week, we will be in Cancer season. So look out for a video on that coming later out this week. So I prefer sidereal for one, because it's showing me what is actually in the sky right now. And two, when I pulled my sidereal chart, it resonated way more with who I am than what my tropical chart did. And it's often what I find with people. So in sidereal astrology, this is our forecast for the week. So beginning on Monday, our moon, you can come and find her down here. She is in the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So what does that mean? That means that during the past, probably over the weekend, right, we have been in the energy of Scorpio. Now, our Scorpio is a water sign. So water moons tend to be more emotional. And with Saturn, it may be deeper emotions, right? It may be that transformative energy where we're diving into something to uncover something, right? That may be hidden. That's definitely what Scorpio can be. Scorpio can also be like, it's not the like surface level conversations, right? It's the deeper conversations. It's getting into the meat, right, of what is going on. And with Scorpio, my fellow water moons, right, or even suns, you may have felt a little bit more in tune with that emotional energy. My air signs, you might have struggled a little bit or are struggling a little bit with this sign because it's a little icky here, right? There's a little too much of that emotion stuff going on. However, this is really powerful energy. So we can also use this energy for our own power, for our own, like taking back our power, taking control, right? We often lose our power. I don't know how many times I see, and when I work with clients and how they're giving up their power. And I'm like, what are you doing, right? And I only know this because I did it for so long that I now realize, right? I'm giving away my power. And so it's one of the things that I can now share with people is like, wait, we don't got to give our power away. We can hold on to it. We can keep it. And so Scorpio can really help us remember that, help us take that back. Now, again, the flip side of that, because that could be that we become a little bit more controlling. We try to put our power over somebody. We might try to, put our will, so to speak, on somebody. So you might have seen that over the past couple of days. Actually, Monday evening into Tuesday, we move into our beautiful zodiac sign of Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is an air sign. So it's a fire sign. So it is more of an action-oriented sign. It is about, exploring. It's about expanding. It's definitely about adventure. Sagittarius has a lot of wisdom with it, right? Because it loves to look at the meaning of life. It likes to look at bigger things. It's not our consciousness has been in that Gemini energy of social curiosity and very surface level, where Sagittarius is like, let's expand our world. I often talk about Gemini is our neighborhood and Sagittarius is like more of our country, right? It's a bigger idea. And so being in this energy over the next couple of days, how can you expand your energy? How can you expand your viewpoint, expand your philosophy, expand what you're doing, right? How can you show up in a bigger way, in a more action-oriented, like leading the way type energy, right? How can you do this within your life, within yourself? Now, Tuesday and Wednesday will be in that energy. And then late Wednesday into Thursday, we will move into Capricorn. So I'm going to cross over Pluto here and it will come conjunct with Pluto. So in Capricorn, our moon is grounded. It's earth energy, right? It grounds the things in. It grounds our emotions. So if we're feeling a little all over the place, we can use this Capricorn energy to ground in. Earth signs, this is a good time for you, right? Especially if you're sun, moon, or rising Capricorn. It's a really good time for you because this is your energy, right? The opposite side to that, Cancers, you can struggle a little bit, right? If it might be too grounding for you and you're trying to stay right up, it might try to bring you down and slow you down a little bit. But Capricorn slows us down, understands the long-term, steadiness of working at something. It's a really beautiful signs. The earth signs are really beautiful for that, as they help us really take our steps to get to where we're going, helps us slow down. Where in that fire energy, we just want to go, which some of us need, right? Some of us earth signs, just raising my hand here, some of us earth signs need that push to go, right? Our fire signs can help us do that, but our earth signs can then like bring us down and be like, all right, where are we at? What are we doing, right? We just jumped. Now we need to settle in, and that's what this Capricorn energy can help us do. Now we'll be in that Capricorn energy Thursday, Friday, and then a little bit into Saturday before we move into Aquarius. So with Aquarius, this is more of a mental energy. This is where we're in our heads a little bit more, in our minds a little bit more. We're thinking about things a lot more. And in Aquarius here over the weekend, it is going to be a little bit more social, right? Although we'll see in a bit that it's gonna change because our consciousness is gonna change. So we'll start out with a lot of air energy the beginning of this weekend, and then by the end of the weekend, it's gonna settle a little bit, and we may be more in the feels, but which is a really good thing, because if our emotional energy is in thinking, is in logic, and our consciousness is in emotion, right? We can bridge those together to get some really good insights into some things that have been upsetting us, frustrating us, bothering us, stopping us, hindering us as well. So we've got this really nice shift happening this weekend where our sun is moving into Cancer, which you'll see here. Right here, our sun moves into the zodiac sign of Cancer on Sunday, which means that our consciousness is going to be connected to the energy of Cancer. And Cancer is that very nurturing, supportive energy. It is about home and family and roots and tradition. And it's very interesting because I'm actually starting tomorrow, Wednesday, I'm starting a course on ancestral work and working with the ancestors. And I'm super excited for it because it's something that as a fourth house sun, I'm very connected to, right? Very connected to that energy. And so it's interesting because, right? I mean, nothing is coincidence. She chose to do it during this time of us being with our consciousness in that energy, right, of Cancer, which I think is really beautiful because we'll be in that ancestral energy working with it. So you'll see that this season upcoming is going to be a great time to work with the ancestors. So look out for more ancestral work coming from Danny if you want to work with your ancestors, because I'm working on that myself and learning even more about it in the next couple of weeks. Actually, I think it's like 8-week program, so about a couple of months. All right, my friends. So that is where our moon energy is going to be. So we're going to move through Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn. In the very end, we'll hit into Aquarius. So let's go back here because there's a couple things I want to show you about where our moon is going and some other things that we have going on. All right, so I did mention that at the top of this that we will be in a full moon this week. So a full moon is when our sun and our moon are in what's called an opposition. So as we can see, we'll get over here and we'll now see it's 23 degrees. So it's not quite exact here, but this is already forming what's called an opposition, where the sun is over here in Gemini and then the moon is over here in Sagittarius. This is an opposition, and you can see it by this line in here. Got a couple of different oppositions in here, but in particular this one. It's very interesting because we have this conjunction here of Mercury and the sun, and we've got our moon over here. Now, these guys are too far apart, right? They're a little bit too far apart because this is about 9 degrees difference. They're pretty close, but for me, they're a little bit too far apart. They actually are considered in opposition to these guys over here. For me, I like to look at about a 6 degrees to be, you know, more so for me. And this actually will be a little bit closer because we'll be at 26, 26. So we will be pretty close to that. So this energy is going to influence this upcoming full moon in Sagittarius. I'll talk a little bit more about this as tomorrow, actually. There'll be a video coming out about our full moon in Sagittarius and how to use this energy. But I wanted to kind of point this out to you right now, right, is that we've got these 4 planets kind of working together, right? These guys very much in our mental energy, in our learner energy, our thinker energy, right? And these guys over here, right? This is our transformational energy, and this is our emotional energy. So we've got and in Capricorn and in Sag, very, very action-oriented, transformational energy for our long-term good. So I'll leave you at that, and we can talk about more about that in the next video. So that is the other thing that we have going on. Now, as we're looking at our moon, as she continues on, she's also going to be conjunct Saturn this week in our sky. So this conjunction right here is very interesting because we'll be in Capricorn, which is Saturn's home. Saturn is currently retrograde. And as I said, Saturn just moved back into Capricorn. So moving with our emotional energy, right, into our, you know, karmic energy of Saturn coming right off of this full moon here, But friend, this is some really good transformational energy, right? We can use this baby to our good. So Saturn, what do we need to get, right? What do we need to get in order, right? Saturn is very much about order, right? And very much about knowing the delayed gratification, right? It knows it's got to wait for something. It's got to be in the right, it's got to be in the right place. It's got to be at the right time. It knows, it controls, it rules our time, actually, Chronos. And so it's ruling our time. And so it knows a lot about time. It knows when timing needs to happen. And so this is a really good time for us to really good time for us to really look at the things that are going on in our life, the long-term goals that we have and what we're ready to achieve. And this moon right here, energy, get connected to it. Because I don't know about you, but if you're an entrepreneur, right, what do they always say? Get connected to your why. Why are you doing what it is that you do? So this is a really good time to connect back to that. Connect back to why you're doing what you're doing, right? Especially as an entrepreneur. Or for those of us who maybe not be, but want to connect back to our purpose, to who we are, to what we want to achieve in this lifetime, right? What maybe our soul is calling us to do, because sometimes we lose track, right? We lose sight. And so this is always a good monthly check-in. But this is even more powerful right now because Saturn is retrograde, and that is the internal, right, reflection. And being in Capricorn, it's really checking in on that. Now, as a collective, it's also some really good, powerful energy, right? To connect back to what we desire for our world, what we desire for the future, right? Really good time to connect back into that. All right, so a couple of other things that I want to point out here is that, so Saturn is moving back into Capricorn, as I said, which is, Saturn is that responsibility, is the respect, it is the more conservative or conservation type energy. And so this is a really good time for us to remember, we don't want to cut corners. We don't want to take the easy road, right? We want to, get control over ourselves, right? So that we can build the foundation for where we're going. Okay, so this is the time to re-look at that, right? To come back to that. Remember, we want to build on solid foundation. We don't want to build on rocky foundation. We want to build on solid foundation. And because of that, we want to make sure that things are in order and on track. So good time really to come back to that energy. Now, we have a couple of other things happening here in our sky, which you can see up here. We've got our North Node and we've got Uranus. So these guys are really close together, 24, 26. This is conjunction. So Uranus is our, rebellion energy. It's our inventive energy. And so there may be some new ideas that are coming your way, some new friendships, if that's what you're seeking, coming your way, as long as you're open, right? This could also be some life-altering situations because our North Node is where we're going. It's what we're seeking. It's the evolution we desire in this life. And so with, the North Node, new things can come, right? This could be new direction. Maybe there's a new direction, some type of life-altering events that happen or take place over, and it's going to be here for a bit. They're going to be hanging out because, these are slower. This one, well, Uranus is a slower moving planet. The nodes are just points in our sky. They're mathematical calculations, so they're not actually, planets or stars or anything like that. They're just mathematical points. But because Uranus does move so slow, they are going to be together for quite a bit. So there could be some shifts that are happening, not only within ourselves, right? Remember, it's not always just we don't look at this energy just for ourselves, although, it is primarily, right? We're looking at it for ourselves, but it is also our world. It is the collective. So, right? Changes in the world, shifts in our world, shifts in societal thinking. Could be even shifts in your own views, right? That are changing things up. Okay, so I want you to be aware of this. There could be some things that are happening over the next month or so that are changing things up, okay? But this is a new opportunity for us to grow, right? Grow as a collective, which way we grow, who knows, right? But we're growing, right? We're changing, we're evolving. And that doesn't always feel good. All right, so, okay, the other thing we have is Venus here. Venus actually, as you can see, she's 2 degrees right now in Gemini, and this is on Friday. So this week she moves actually on the 13th, which would be Wednesday. She moves into Gemini. So she went from very steady, stable, comforting Taurus to Gemini, which is very social, right? Which is curiosity, which is spicing things up. So Venus rules love, relationships, beauty, money. So we may see, right? We may feel a little bit more curious as it relates to issues concerning the heart, right? So this could be some little flirtatious with people, right? Even though you may be in a committed relationship, you're over here flirting with people. Watch out, my friends. Watch out. But it's that spiciness, like trying to spice things up in your life. Well, go home and spice things up in your bedroom, right? You might feel that energy to spice things up a bit in your life, in your love life in particular. So how can you do that? If you're somebody that's in a relationship, right, in a committed relationship, so you can try, right, spicing things up, right? Spicing things up like it's not the normal day-to-day type routine that you two have together. Maybe you throw some new stuff in and do something different, do something together that you haven't done before, or do something that you've done that you maybe haven't done in a while, right? Bring something new to the table here. Now, if you're looking, right, if you're not with anybody, not in a committed relationship, now this is an opportunity for you to go and like have some fun and meet new people and date somebody maybe that you normally wouldn't date. See how things are different. Try different dating things. Go out to different places. Now, if you're like, great, Danny, but I don't want a relationship right now because I'm working on me. And I'm like, heck yes, girl, go for it, right? If that's you, then how can you spice up your own life? How can you spice up your own life? How can you be curious about things? Take like a simple thing, taking a different route to work. I did a natal chart reading for somebody recently. And I was like, my friend, you need to spice things up in your life. And it was like, take a different route to work. Like just go a different way, make a right instead of a left, right? And maybe it's going to take you a little bit longer and right, gas prices are coming down, guys, but right, maybe you're taking a little bit of a different route so that your mind is seeing something different. Your energy is different. I don't know how many times I've been down this road since December. I've been down this road a bunch of different times. And the other day I was like, when did that come up? Like I've never seen that. And I'm pretty sure it's been there this entire time, but I never saw it. But I came a different route. I made a right onto this street and then I saw it and I was like, whoa. And it was that reminder for me, right? To change things up in my life. If you go to the grocery store, maybe you always start at the produce and work your way down, right? Start on the other side. Start where the convenience items are and go down to the produce. Park in a different spot. Are you somebody that is so like, I always park in this row, I always park right here, or this is my spot? Or if you go to a class or a workshop, you always sit in the same seat, right? Change it up, my friend. Bring some variety into your life. Man, it's one of the most amazing things, the simplest thing that we can do that can open us up. Right? If you, where you work and you always sit at the same place. Now, maybe that's your desk and maybe you have to sit there, but maybe you can go on a break and sit somewhere different, right? Maybe instead of sitting outdoors, you sit indoors, or maybe instead of sitting indoors, you sit outdoors. Change things up, my friend, change things up. This is a really good time, right? And anybody, if you are looking for somebody and you're looking, you're attracting somebody, you're going to attract somebody right now on a mental level, right? Because Venus is in that mental energy. And so it's going to be, and they may be fun and flirty, and you may be feeling that fun and flirty, but these relationships tend to be, I'm not going to say they don't work out, but they tend to be a little bit more like flirty and fun and not necessarily very long lasting. So just want to put that out there. Have some fun, my friend. Spice up your life. All right. Let's see. The last thing I wanted to talk about was these couple of days here that we're going to have with this Mercury. I was looking at my notes, trying to stay on track, was this Mercury and Sun energy. This is very, again, mental energy, thinking, learning, social energy. But because these guys are hanging out together, there's a really good mental alertness, really good quick thinking, really great interaction to communicate with others. So use this energy, hang out with some friends, find some new friends, go to a new place, bringing in that spice of life here, right? Variety, go to a new coffee shop and meet a new person, right? Or go to a networking event, meet new people, right? That our thinking and our speaking will be a little bit more clear, right? You'll be able to explain what is going on in here a little bit better, which is really great transformation time, right? Because when you can get this mental energy, right, to really be able to express it, you can really get some really good things out and have some healing. All right, my friend, that is what I wanted to talk about this week. Now, because we're talking about the variety of life, the spice of life, and bringing things in with this really nice transformational energy, our oil for the week is Miss Tangerine. Tangerine is our oil of the week because she is the oil of spontaneity. Did you know that? Oil of spontaneity. And so this brings joy in dark times, in dark moods. This is when you've been feeling like overburdened. Maybe you're feeling really responsible, like there's a lot of weight on you. Bring in some tangerine. This makes room for your creative side. This reinserts fun and joy and life back into you. I prefer to drink it myself. I prefer to drop a drop in water, drop a drop in water. That's how I prefer to generally use it. However, you can also diffuse this baby, right, into your space to really bring in, some spontaneity into your office or to your home, to your bedroom. Just saying. You can also put this on you. You can use it topically. Now, the one thing I would say is if you're going to go outside, this is with any citrus oil, you want to make sure that you put it in a place where it's not going to hit the sun, because those two don't work very well together. Let me just tell you. So don't use your citrus oils in the sun. So you'll want to put it where the sun don't shine, obviously, or just don't use it when you're going out into the sun. So that's why I prefer to drink it or diffuse it. And actually, I saw somebody post in like an essential oils Facebook group that I'm in about using tangerine with adaptive in the diffuser. I was like, ooh, I bet that smells great. So I haven't done it yet, but I'll do it this week and I'll let you know how it goes. But you can try that too. If you've got tangerine and adaptive, put those two babies together. All right, my friend, that is it for us today. We did start Nurture Your Stars last week, which, oh my God, I'm so excited for. Such a great group of ladies. Man, it was such a great class. I loved it. And I'm so looking forward to our next 11 weeks together. If you would like to join us, I am still leaving it open for this last week. So if you're kind of been I think I want to do it and going back and forth, if this is the sign you needed, then here you go, my friend. There is still an opportunity to join this week. You can find the link down in the description box, or feel free to reach out to me. And I'd love to have you. If you're ready to go on that personal development journey, if you're ready to learn more about yourself through the lens of astrology, then Nurture Your Stars is the class for you. It is the container for 12 weeks. We are going to explore who we are from an astrological lens. We're going to use essential oils. We're going to talk about spirituality. We're going to talk about personal development in this container. And I believe we have 10 or 11 ladies in it. So it's a nice group where you get to get some one-on-one time with Danny. You get to connect with other beautiful women and really go on this great, amazing journey. So my friend, that is it for us today. As always, I'm going to go ahead and stop my share. Close your eyes. And let's take a deep breath. And find peace.